Good morning on day 16. It's just before 7, still dark, but we're leaving town where we have street lights. And oh, I'm just remembering a dream last night I had. Funny. Anyway, we're heading out into who knows where for who knows how long. Steven is with me. Nice to have a partner when you're going to be walking in the pitch black. There's been a few mornings that I've taken off by myself in the pitch black and decided that I really didn't like that. So here we go, buen camino. We just had a stop and a rest. This is Leani and her brother Leon, and of course Steven, and had some watermelon. And every time we stop, I don't know what happens exactly, but it is so hard to get walking again, so we have to go really slow and work the kinks out of our feet and let them warm up before we can get to a normal speed. And it's kind of universal.
Some stretches.
Yeah, maybe some stretches. So a few on our feet and we'll be.
I'm warmed up. Let's run.
Okay.
Let's go.
A little bit longer and we'll pick up speed. I think we have about 4 kilometers to go. So doing pretty good. The town coming up, and you can see up on top of the hill there's an old castle or something. Hopefully we can learn a little bit about it. I love castles. It looks kind of close, the town, but I bet we still have a couple kilometers before we find where we are staying. It's just a gorgeous day. It started out so foggy, and now we have nothing but blue skies. My feet are holding up really well. They're sore, but my ankle is doing okay. So, yay for that. To go have a shower. I'm laying with my disposable pillowcase and my disposable sheet cover that I bought for €1, and then I'll use my sleeping bag as a cover. The sheet underneath the disposable sheet does not look clean. Anyway, I'm not clean. I need to shower, but my feet are really happy right now just laying on this bed, so it'll have to wait a little bit. sitting outside of my albergue, finding some shade, and something that I'm so aware of as I do this journey is you know, there's so many people from so many different countries. It's just almost amazing how many different countries are represented on the Camino at one given time. And there are so many different ways of doing things. You know, things in Spain, for example, you know, there's things that are completely acceptable and completely normal for Spain, but they would be judged really harshly in the United States or even Canada. And, you know, when people ask where I'm from, I always say that I was born and raised in British Columbia and I live in the States. And I can't even tell you how many people have said to me, why do you live in the States? We do not have a good perspective from the rest of the world. I have not heard a single person say anything kind. Now, I'm sure some of them must have kind thoughts about the United States, but all I ever hear is negative. We're pretty spoiled where we live. You know, I know our lives are stressful and busy, but things are so much harder in so many other places. You know, but I say that, and I don't know that I totally agree with what I just said. I think they're harder in some ways, but they're also a lot more simple and maybe even easier in other ways. It's impossible to summarize the positives and negatives of any given country. But something that this trip is definitely giving me is just perspective on my life at home, and how privileged I am, how lucky I am, and how much stuff I have. You know, I was talking with my friends from Italy, Stefania and Alberto, and they were asking where I lived, and I showed them a picture, and they could not believe where I live. They were just floored at the size of our home, and you know, that everyone has a vehicle, and it's kind of humbling to see other people's reactions. So anyway, it is what it is. You know, I just am more aware right now, and I have a lot of time to observe things and kind of let that sink in, I guess. Something that I wanted to talk about was how the day goes with pain. You know, I'm not a person that typically lives in pain. I know that a lot of people do. I have pain every day. I have fatigue every day. I really haven't had a day where nothing didn't hurt. And I've noticed that my tolerance for pain continues to increase, where, you know, something that's sore, I just keep moving, kind of have to keep moving. I'm noticing that I'm just, I guess, gaining strength. Being on this journey is making me realize how strong I can be, and that I have a lot more in me than I knew I had. This experience is so much harder than I expected, but I'm doing it, and I'm okay, you know. I get to the albergue after, you know, my day of walking, and every step hurts, and I, you know, hobble in to my bed, and I rest a while, and then I get up and I can move again. And, you know, last night the swelling in my feet, oh my God, my toes were like sausages, and no particular reason, they were just really swollen. I've heard so many people say that they bought shoes at least one size, if not two sizes bigger for the Camino, because your feet swell so much, because it's such a, you know, a marathon of a walk. I never heard that. Totally wish I had done that, because when I started and when I trained, I always wore 2 pairs of socks. I haven't worn 2 pairs of socks since like the second day, because my feet are, they won't fit. You know, it's too tight in my shoes. So anyway, I don't know why I went on that tangent, but I guess I'm just reflecting on how far I've come. Today is day 16, and I've got a long ways left, but I know I can do it, so that's cool.